Have you ever been in such a rush that you ran out of the door to your car only to realize, crap, I don't have my car keys? So you try to run back inside, but you've locked the door on your way out. So now you are both locked out of your house and your car. What do you do now? Well, that's the question I'm here to answer for you. Lockpicking is a very useful skill, but is it legal where I live? And the answer to that question is maybe. If you live in the state of Missouri, it's perfectly fine to own and use a lockpick set. There are only 5 states in the United States of America that do not allow you to own a lockpick set, simply because owning one is the intent to break the law, whereas in every other state, it is perfectly fine and perfectly legal, as long as you are not trying to break into some place you are not supposed to be in. So, now that you know when and where you can pick a lock, why would I want to learn how to pick a lock? Well, simply, it's fun. It's fun and you can save money doing so. And it's fun in the way that it's fun to solve a puzzle. Every lock is a different kind of puzzle. No 2 locks are the same, so there's always a different kind of variety for it. Some locks may be harder to pick, some might be easier to pick. Now, how can I save money by learning how to lockpick? Well, for starters, you don't have to pay $70 when you've locked yourself out of the house by calling a locksmith. You'll be able to now pick your own lock so that you can get inside, get what you need, and get back out. You don't need to sit there for an hour outside waiting for the locksmith to come by to come pick your lock for you. Now, it's quick and easy. So, now you know why you should pick a lock? Let's actually teach you how to pick a lock. And let's start by the anatomy of the lock. So I have the entire anatomy of the lock right behind me, but we're not going to go over this entirely. We're only going to go over the key parts. And yes, even though I do have this gigantic kit, we are only going to go over 3 items today for the most basic lockpicking and the most used lockpicking. And that lockpicking being pin and tumbler locks. This is a pin and tumbler anatomy chart right now. And this right here is a pin and tumbler lock. This is a very basic, easy one for beginners due to the fact that it's clear and it only has 4 pins to pick, making it a lot easier than, let's say, a 6-pin lock. So, the pin we are going to use is a short hook pin. It's called a short hook pin because it's a short hook. It's literally the name. And we're going to use our tension wrench, otherwise known as a Z or L wrench. It's a Z wrench if it's one right here and one right here. It is an L wrench if it's just one of these. So, you're going to stick the L wrench inside of the keyhole, and you're going to put pressure on it the opposite direction, meaning the direction you want to turn your key. And you're going to take your pin and you're going to push it inside and you're going to feel the inside. You can feel a bunch of different little keys inside. I call them keys. Other people may call them pins, but if I call this a pin and these a pin, there's bound to be some confusion. So you're going to feel the keys inside. There are 2 sets of keys to each and every one of these. One is a different size to keep the lock locked. And then the other one is to be pushed up to a shear line, which is the line that they all stick so that you can turn the lock. So you're going to push the lockpick inside and raise it ever so slightly. You might have to push it all the way up or all the way down. It's perfectly fine. As long as you have pressure on the tension wrench, it's going to stick. So watch as I put the lockpick inside and I move the pins. As you can see, some of them are staying in the same spot, whereas others are falling back down. Sometimes it may take a minute, other times it'll take seconds. This one is a very easy one, so it'll be done just like that. I've now picked the lock and taken the keys out. So, Once again, I feel like I should reiterate this because this is a very important piece to lockpicking. Don't try to pick locks to places you're not supposed to be in. If it is locked off and you didn't lock it, stay out. And once again, this is mainly used as a hobby nowadays or a way to get into your own house. There are many ways to pick a lock. There are many different locks to pick. But I would prefer you to stay with what I taught today.